Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Absolutely.
We have Paulette Jackson. She is the Senior Vice President of National Development and Operations for UNICEF. Welcome.
Good morning.
Well, say UNCF,
UNCF.
not UNICEF. That is a different charity.
UNCF. So what is UNCF?
The United Negro College
I
Fund.
know that, but let her explain it to people.
UNCF is the second largest provider of financial assistance to students of color in the country, second only to the federal government. And it is a wonderful charity for helping to ensure that students not only get into college, but that they get through college and that they move on to careers. And so it is an organization where students can get scholarships, where they can get information about moving from college into their career. We prep them for going into that job force and becoming the leaders that they need to be. We also have a lot of special events around the country so that people can join us in promoting UNCF, promoting the work that we do, being ambassadors for students, being ambassadors for historically black colleges and universities. We have 37 member HBCUs, all of whom we help with operating support, with providing scholarships for the students that attend those schools, as well as schools across the country. So whether they are HBCUs or whether they're PWIs. So we just want students of color to be able to get that education.
Now, how do students get that loan and that help?
Well, they get that help, and what they're not getting from us are loans. What they are getting are dollars that will help them not have to have loans or to reduce their loans. So they're getting scholarships, or they may be getting grants from us, and they can do that by going to our website at www.uncf.org and going into our scholarships and programs, and they'll be able to apply right there online for scholarships. I encourage any student, whether you're going to a UNCF member student or not, to go onto the site, set up a profile so that when scholarships that match your profile come available, they'll be notified so that they can put their application in for that scholarship.
So what's the Empower Me tour?
The Empower Me tour, we started the Empower Me tour in 2008. It was a program that Wells Fargo, together with UNCF, worked on together. They are our founding sponsor, have been with us since the beginning. And what we are doing is making sure that the students are prepared to go into to career and into college. We have two segments of the Empower Me tour. The first segment is a program called College Readiness, and that program is set up to be able to help students not only learn about financial aid, the admissions process, how to select a major, all of those things, the HBCU experience. But we bring HBCUs to the students where they are, and the students can apply to get into college right there on site. And the wonderful thing is they can also be accepted right there on site. And they can also be awarded scholarships, or they can be, what they're done, they give them, they say, you'll get this scholarship. Now, what we don't want you to do is get into school in the fall, be told, hey, you're in, you've got a scholarship. You still have to study, you still have to work, because it's a contingent scholarship on you still completing that your senior year and still having good grades.
So what do you have to keep a GPA at what?
It depends. It really depends on what the scholarship allows, the type of scholarship you get. Different GPAs for different scholarships. So you have to ask. The students need to ask, what are the criteria for me to maintain this scholarship?
How was everything last year during the pandemic when everything shut down and things were so virtual? How was that for students getting money to go to school?
It was a difficult year for everybody, obviously. And so for students, they were still able to go to our website and get online and apply online for scholarships. A lot of the schools, as you know, were closed. They were doing virtual learning. And so it was a little more difficult to touch base with the students because they weren't on campus.
Mm-hmm.
But we still managed to get to them, and they still managed to get to us, and so they were able to get scholarships. Some students really were helped by the federal government because there were stimulus packages that were available to students at HBCUs that and to their campuses.
Mm-hmm.
We had emergency aid for students, helping students to get home who didn't have the money to buy an airline ticket to go home, might have needed help with housing because they couldn't fly home, might have needed help with food insecurity. So we still managed to have programs available to the students, and we were able to reach them where they were at.
Ms. Paulette, how come we don't hear the motto "A mind is a terrible thing to waste" anymore?
Well, everybody still hears that.
They still do it? Y'all still running in commercials and stuff?
Oh, well, we haven't been doing the PSAs so much.
Got you.
But a mind is a terrible thing to waste. That is our motto.
Absolutely.
We live by that motto. And so it's still in existence. You'll see it on if you go to our website, you see it. If you see it on any collateral that has for UNCF, you will always see a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And it's still the most recognized phrase in the country.
Yeah, because I remember hearing it on commercials all the time growing up.
Yeah. Well, you don't see as many commercials so much with a lot of the charities. And sometimes I like to think of it in this way. When we were first starting out and when those commercials were so huge, I think it's what helped make us the organization that we are today. And, a lot of those commercials were done by the Ad Council, and there was no cost to us. We didn't have the resources for us, but we're in a better position now. So we do a lot of our own PR and publicity in the communities where we're at. And that's why being here today is so important, because where we can get opportunities to be in a venue like this and be able to talk about what it is we're doing, we look for those opportunities.
Now, was Joe Biden doing enough for HBCUs?
Joe Biden is doing some good things for UNCF. The latest stimulus that was approved right after he became president helped to bring additional dollars to HBCUs. So the HBCUs were able to get significant dollars from all of the stimulus packages. And so even from the prior administration, when the stimulus packages happened around COVID, we were able to get it. Now, UNCF, we are nonpartisan, we are a charity, and we will take help from whomever we can get help from because the students need it. It's bigger than us.
Now, for somebody out there listening that wants to donate, how can they donate and say, hey, I want to help. I'm doing well. Maybe this grant or a grant that I got from you guys helped me get through college and I want to pay it forward. So how can they do that?
They can do that by going to our website at www.uncf.org. At the top of the page, there is a donate button, and they can click on that donate button and they can give to UNCF. If you have a particular community you want to give in, all they have to do is look for our local offices on the menu. And we have local offices across the country, and they can go and they can click on to those sites as well and be able to donate out of their local markets if that's important to them.
Does it ever sound crazy to you if you look at some of these, like your Harvards and your Columbias, and you see the surplus of dollars that they have, and then you look at the HBCUs, and it's, what we were talking about it the other day. It was like Harvard was like, their surplus.
I forgot. I think Harvard got like a $40 billion endowment, and like the HBCUs only, as a total, only have like $3 billion or something like that, $4 billion.
I can't worry about Harvard, to be quite honest with you. I don't worry about Harvard. I worry about making sure that I do everything I can to raise money for our students to be able to go to school. Who would believe that in 2021 we still have first generation students going to college? So there is a need for the work that UNCF does. And so my concern can't be all the other colleges and universities. And good for them. If they've got it, great. all I can do is see what I can do to raise money to keep our colleges strong and vital, because our students need these institutions. Our students need to have the nurturing that comes from going to an HBCU. They need the family type atmosphere that's at these HBCUs. They need the ability to know that people who look like them are helping them to get to where they need to be. And so I don't worry about Harvard. I know that they have scholarships. I know they have scholarships for students of color. I think that's great. I don't think any student should walk away from money wherever it is at, because as much as we like to do for and try to do for UNCF, it's never enough. We don't have enough to meet all of the students who come to us for support. And so I am always encouraging young people to look at Thurgood Marshall, Scholarship America. I don't care. If they've got scholarships, you ought to be looking for it, because the biggest issue that students have, and I don't care what student it is, if it's black students, white students, Hispanic students, the biggest problem students have is coming out of school with debt. You don't need that. You don't need that. What you need is the ability to walk away from school with as little debt as possible, with as few loans as possible. And so what I'm encouraging students to always do is to apply for any scholarship that you are academically qualified for. Now, there are a lot of scholarships out there that say we're need-based. Some of them are merit-based, which means, the better you do in school, the better. But there are also scholarships out there for students who are 2.0. There are students who are 3.0. It doesn't matter. There are scholarships out there.
For students that are C average?
There are some. Yeah,
Wow.
There are. But you got to look for them. In
bro.
some cases, you have to look for them. And what students need to do is don't look for mom and dad to sit down and do that. I know young people, and I know you got to have that. What is that? That tweet time and that Instagram time and all that.
That talking and tick.
And that talking and ticking and all that stuff you do. Okay, I'm an old woman, and
I'm with you.
I don't do all that, but nevertheless, get away from that for a minute and help yourself.
That's right.
Get on the computer and see who has scholarships. I like to tell the story about one of my daughters who is allergic to bees and wasps and those kind of insects. And she found a scholarship once on there for students who have allergies.
Man, stop, Miss
For
Paulette.
students with allergies. No, I'm serious.
Wow.
There are all sorts of scholarships out there. You just have to go out and find them. There are students who pay for their entire college education with scholarships and grants. Apply for them. Go to your state and look at what kind of grants the state has. If you are a permanent resident of that state, there are grants for you. There are national grants that you can go after. There are dollars you don't have to pay out. And scholarships and grants are the best kind of money that you can go after. And that's what they ought to be doing.
You think the curriculums need to change in some of these HBCUs?
I'm really not qualified to say that. I think that the schools, they know that the best. And I encourage you to reach out to some of the presidents of these HBCUs, and especially the UNCF HBCUs. Talk to them about it. Find out what their thoughts are on what the needs of their schools are, what the needs of their students are, because I'm telling you, they are doing the job that needs to be done. And it is a hard job. It is a hard job, and they're doing it without the kind of resources of the Harvards. But those students are coming out of school, and if you talk to some of these young people, if you get to meet some of these young people, they will take your breath away with how knowledgeable they are, how poised they are, just how incredibly talented they are. They're our future, and we need to be lifting them up and promoting them. And that's what I do. This is a labor of love for me. I love what I do. I love the fact that I can raise money that will help students get through school.
You know, with the Empower Me Tour, are y'all really giving out $2,500 on the spot?
Students need to go to uncf.org/empowermetour for the career readiness tomorrow. And there are some things you have to do in order to apply for those scholarships. And so what they need to do, and they can still do it today, and just go online, and they can even still do it tomorrow, but they just need to do it sooner rather than later if they possibly can. And it will explain what you need to do to apply for those scholarships online. They also can register for the Empower Me Tour because you can't get the scholarship unless you participate an Empower Me Tour, so it's important to do that.
You talked about some HBCUs that are in partnership with you guys. What are some of those HBCUs?
We've got 37 member HBCUs. We have schools in mostly the southern state. We have the oldest HBCU in the country in Wilberforce. Was in Ohio.
I've been trying to do their homecoming for like the longest. The president came up here one time and was talking about it, and they don't really have a homecoming. So I told him I would do it, but then the pandemic hit and we shut down.
Yeah, well, reach on out to Dr. Pinkert and reach out to their Office of Institutional Advancement. And
what about Dr. Harvey? Is Dr. Harvey at Hampton University a partner?
Dr. Harvey, I'm blanking on him right now.
Okay, maybe not.
No. So, but we've got schools in Texas, you know, we've got Jarvis Christian, we've got, you know, of course, we've got the AU Center in Atlanta, we've got Shaw University. You know the importance of Shaw?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Shaw University is a UNCF member institution. Benedict College.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I got a lot of South Carolina schools.
And so all 37, and you can see, and there are links to all 37 on the UNCF website as well. So you don't have to go far to find the schools and to go in and to learn about what these they're just venerable institutions.
That's great.
They're just amazing institutions.
So what's the easiest way for young black kids to find out about these scholarships?
The easiest way for them to find out about the UNCF scholarships is, again, to go to our website and go to the scholarship page. Okay. That's the easiest way. I'm going to give students a few tricks of the trade, okay? If you're looking for scholarships that are not necessarily UNCF, you can always go into Google and you can put in scholarships and they'll bring up scholarships. You can look up Thurgood Marshall and get scholarships through them, Scholarship America. Those are kind of nationally known scholarship programs as well. But if you're looking to see what might be available in your community or what the corporate community is doing in scholarships, one of the things you can do is to go to their websites. Let's say that you wanted to go to, go to Nike. Maybe, or some others, you know, I always say to students, what kind of products do you buy at home? Go look them up. Almost all companies have a community page, and when you go to the page, of course, they're trying to sell you their product. So you're not going to find it there. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom where you have just kind of the menu of who we are, what we're about, and all of that, you'll also sometimes see community. Click on that community link because that's where they're going to talk about, we are a local company and we give scholarships to students. A lot of energy companies give scholarships in the community I live in. The energy company gives scholarships to local students graduating seniors. Churches, a lot of churches have scholarship programs now. You should go to your church and look at that. If you're involved in Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and other types of community student types of activities, they have scholarship programs. Apply for all of them. There's no law that says you have to apply for one scholarship. You can apply for as many as you want to have. And that's the way you end up with no debt because you're paying all of that off. There is something, and not a lot of folks know about until they're faced with it. Fill out FAFSA. Students should go to the government's website and fill out a FAFSA application, and that's also going to tell you whether or not you have an expected family contribution that you have to give. That means your parents or whoever your guardian may be because of the income in the family is expected to do something. There's nothing to say you can't raise your own money, go out and raise enough money so that all of that's covered. So all of that is covered. So students really and truly, they can be their own best advocate for financial aid if they're willing to go out and do the work for it.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you
absolutely
and giving us all
great
that
information.
Absolutely. Give them the website one more time. And besides the students, we also need some donors too. So
absolutely. So UNCF.org covers it all. You can donate on that site. There's a orange button at the top. Hit that button and let's and donate. And then also you can go there to get the scholarships. You'll see a menu and you can see scholarships right there on the home page. Click on that. Go get those scholarships and go to uncf.org/Empower Me Tour to sign up for the Empower Me Tour tomorrow. And while you're at it, college students, make sure that you also go in and click on uncf.org/HBCU Innovation Summit, because they will also have a career opportunities for the students. Wherever we can help those students get those jobs, we want to help them to do that. So make sure that you do both. And then we'll also, in October, they'll also see on the Empower Me Tour site the college readiness. We'll be doing 2 college readiness programs coming up this fall. So make sure that you sign up, high school students. Sign up. We're going to be doing one on the from the Midwest and one from the West Coast. So look at your time zones and select the one that's best for you to participate in. East Coast, join us on that Midwest.
All right, Paulette Jackson, thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Good morning.